Going on to you, Cancer. So you have the World, Knight of Swords, the Judgment, Page of Cups, the Tower, Three of Wands, the Hanged Man, Hierophant, the Devil, and then you have the Nine of Pentacles. So very much so Capricorn energy. You have both the Devil and the World, which rules Capricorn, or I should say is Capricorn in the major arcana. So you definitely did show up. You Cancer crabs, right? A lot of you Cancers are very much so putting into action what it is that you have learned, right? The World is very much so about that. The World major arcana is not just about having a good time, right? It's about having a good time because you've gathered the knowledge. So because of the fact that you've gathered the knowledge, you can actually start implementing it, right? Using it to your own good. And a lot of times, right, the World represents the last of the major arcana, right? But the World represents the most manifested, as to where the Fool represents the furthest away from the physically manifested, right? And the World represents the most manifested. So this is about how the person that you wanted to become, you're actually becoming it. And the Knight of Swords now is about how, since that's the case, right, a lot of other people are not going to be able to interact with you in a general sense the same way. And what I mean by that is how it is that you Cancers used to get hurt from other people, right? Not actually doing what it is or being what it is that they said or acted like they were about. A lot of you Cancer crabs are realizing that you can't trust everybody that you call yourselves being in a would-be relationship with. So the Judgment represents, because you know that now, and because you're actually taking those steps, you're actually becoming the person that you want to be. You're that person, right? Now a lot of you Cancer crabs are not taking the squat anymore. A lot of you Cancer crabs are very much so staying away from people that are big time talkers. Because again, a lot of you Cancer crabs understand that it's not just about talking. It's also about seeing if the person can actually back it up with their actions. And a lot of you Cancer crabs, like I was talking about in the last couple of readings, right, just like a lot of the other zodiac signs are starting to realize, is that a lot of people talk and they say a lot, but in actuality, they're not really going to back it up with any action. And they're going to be mad at you at the fact that you're holding grown people to the things that they say. So that looks odd to people now when you start doing that. But that's how it is that you should be doing it. Grown people should not be stepping up and talking too much about things that they say that they're going to do if they're not really going to be serious with it. But the Page of Cups in the Tower represents the quality of the people that are playing games and wasting your time, right? But it also, it speaks to that personally. But it also speaks to how a lot of you Cancers right now, things between them and you, how it is that they try to build that connection between you and them, it's not working. A lot of you Cancer crabs are able to see through a lot of their nonsense, right? A lot of the gobbledygook that they saying, because you're actually waiting for them to do something with what they say. And the Tower represents you starting to see that a lot of people fall short. See, this is the reason why functional relationships are so rare. It's not like functional, well-to-do, real relationships are not as common as most people try to make it seem like it is. It's not something where it's going to be like a chicken in every pot. A functional relationship is actually quite difficult to get, because one of the reasons why is because of the same examples like I'm talking about here. So many people waste time trying to front, trying to act like there's something that they're not. So the Three of Wands, right, and the Hangman represents, this is kind of the dilemma that a lot of you Cancers are in. You Cancers are actually becoming more and more real, where people have to take you seriously, right? But there's a catch to that. The catch is, because you become more real, is the more you realize just you're really not like the majority of the people that you are interacting with. So now this whole ideology of like attracts like, how does like attract like when you become more rare? How does like attract like when you become more exotic? And what I mean by that is not exotic in a sense of physically, but exotic in a sense of your mentality. How it is that people don't practice what it is that they preach, and yet you cancers do. So you're now more exotic because of that, because you're more rare now, right? And that's the catch. So the thing is that the Hierophant represents, I'm just seeing how a lot of you cancers are looking at it from the perspective of, you're going to, like, you're living your life. And yes, you will get approached, but you're not really stressing about the relationship portion of it, because how does like attract like I said before, then when you're becoming more exotic. So the devil now represents, right? This speaks to the weird obsession that other people are having with you as you are getting to know them, right? One-on-one. And they like you due to the very fact that you actually stand for something. You actually have decency. And that's rare, especially in a time like today. The problem is they can't meet you halfway. They can't match you halfway, though, Cancer. So that makes you even more rare. This is why it is I tell y'all to make sure that a lot of you understand, or you have an idea of your value. A lot of, again, people still haven't figured it out yet. I still see, a bunch of comments in the comment section that talk about, a bunch of comments in the comment section that talk about X, Y, Z, and they're still not getting it. The higher value you strive to be, the more decent you strive to be, the more effective you strive to be, the more you chase excellence, is the more you put yourself notches above people, others, because of the fact that the way you carry yourself and the way you handle your business, most people, not only are they not mentally equipped, they don't have the honor, they don't have the decency, they don't have the restraint to see why they need restraint, why they need to have patience. They're not built for it. So now you sitting up here, so now people will sit up there and ask, well, what's the value in this, or what's the value in that? You don't understand the value in restraint. The value in restraint stops you from continuing on to do something that will cause you to be in a dangerous situation if you don't stop. Right? So restraint, i.e. stopping, is an important thing. And a lot of times people don't get it. So the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles represents a lot of you Cancer crabs have your own internal value that's not attached to other people, right? And that's the thing that's really getting people. It's the fact that they're jealous of you, right? And envious of you, right? The ones that you've interacted with, a lot of them, even though they're supposed to be interacting with you, they're jealous of you due to the fact that you don't need them. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Nine of Pentacles. So you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Justice, the Empress, and then you have the Sun, right? Because the Ten of Pentacles, right? Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, right there. The Ten of Pentacles, okay? The Justice. A lot of you Cancers have figured out your own self-worth, and that you owe it to yourself to continue to see how great or how good you can become, because a lot of you Cancers are now chasing excellence. But the Empress and the Sun, right, now is about how, and you're going to realize that the more valuable you are, is the more you're going to have to dub a lot of people that will act like they're valuable. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe.